Welcome to Conversations with Tenzin. And today on this podcast, I have my very good friend Adea from Kosovo. I'm doing this podcast because I meet a lot of wonderful people and they have a lot of interesting stories. Adea, welcome.
Hi, thank you so much for having me today.
So, Adea, I start this podcast always by asking, I want to know your story till now. How did you get here? How you started. Did you always want to be what you are doing right now? So, who is Adea?
So, actually, I come from Prishtina, that is the capital city of Kosovo. Kosovo is a very young country in Southeast Europe. Many people have heard it through news because we've had violent war for independence in 99, 98, 99 actually. And we've gained our independence in 2008. So we're kind of young, trying to figure out things. And to be honest, I'm not young, but I feel I'm still trying to figure out things.
We're all young at heart, so you don't have to say that.
So when I was growing up, our university didn't have that many options to study. So I was thinking about economics or law or medicine or architecture, and I went to architecture and I loved it for the time being. Architecture and spatial planning. Then I had a fellowship from the European Union when I got the chance to do my master's degree in UK, and that actually opened my mind to more possibilities, to more options. And after I came back home, I worked for the government for a couple of years because this was one of the obligations that we had for our scholarship. And I got to see another side of work there because I dealt with development aid. So I saw how much our country is actually dependent in development aid. And I have lots of thoughts about it because I don't think we should be so dependent, obviously, on development aid. I left the government. I went to the private sector. I have worked in several private companies and co-founded a few architecture design companies. But to be honest, in a country that small, the possibilities to do actual architecture are very limited. And basically, what you end up doing is doing interior design. And that is not something that I can see myself doing for a long time. And then I went to the NGO sector where I currently work in. I work with cultural heritage, and my task is now trying to create this link between cultural heritage and economic development of different regions, which I find a little bit more fulfilling because I wanted to do things on a greater scale and things that encompass more sectors than just one. So that's why I actually applied for the Humphrey program because I also needed to have this point of view from the US. I have been quite judgmental of this capitalistic system in the US, but I don't want to judge without actually experiencing it. So, and that's how I came here to MIT to do within the urban planning department. And to be honest, it has been very, very eye-opening for me because there are so many things that I've been doing on my own without actually understanding what I've been doing back at home in terms of urban planning. And I see it now that this intersection of many sectors of trying to work like from a bigger picture to improve people's lives, this is what I actually want to do for longer. So I'm
That
happy to
is
be here.
really amazing. And I know that you are a very, straightforward person. You speak your mind. You don't have that, what we call diplomacy.
No, absolutely not.
So, were you always like that?
Actually, now that's an interesting question.
Were you ever
I'm not so
diplomatic before?
sure. I'm not so sure I was. I was raised by our beautiful mom. So, and she really taught us to speak the truth.
Okay.
And one thing that she always told me, which was my flaw kind of, was that I was not tolerant. And she always told me, try to understand other perspectives, put yourself in others' shoes, and be tolerant of differences. And I keep that close to my heart every day. So I try to be tolerant, but then again, I am tolerant maybe. But then again, I think I have this need to speak the truth and to say what I mean. And I'm hoping not to offend people with that, but that really shows that I'm not going to have any career in politics whatsoever, but also I don't want any career in politics. That is like one sector that I really do not like,
Yes,
absolutely don't
that's what
like.
I thought.
It's not my people, it's not the kind of conversations that I want to have, because also for me, like, I don't like to theorize, how to say, too much. And I get bored of just this like political talks and talks and talks. And I like more to be with the people in the ground. And maybe I'm more like of a technical person in this sense. And I like to work hands-on in the ground.
Yes, yes. I've seen that. You do like the nitty-gritty. You need to see the details.
Yes.
So I
Yeah.
think that is something that I've learned about you, that you need to, go into the details and try to
Yes.
connect the dots. That's
And maybe
you.
in this ground, it's good that I'm not diplomatic, because I can go straight to the point and then move forward.
Yes. Did you always want to be an architect? When you were small, what did you want to be? Did you want to be something else?
No, I was actually thinking about medicine because of my family. There are generations of amazing doctors in my family, so that was always kind of in the back of my mind, like if I should be there as well. But then on the other hand, I did see that they were very stressed even at the home, and their work life was always brought to the household. You cannot really just disconnect with health problems of people. And it was always like a question mark in my head, but that was one of the main reasons that I actually went to architecture. But after some unfortunate things that happened to my life, that I got to spend more time in hospitals, I saw that I really didn't want that life. It was too painful for me, because I think I can get too empathetic. So I'm glad I didn't follow that road. Although there is still this side of me that would have loved to work with people like that. But there is a selfish side of me that says, okay, you kind of saved yourself in this one. I think so. Because honestly, like, one of the main drivers for my life is the well-being. And I really, really appreciate internal peace, good life, just love. Well, yeah, internal peace. I think there is nothing that can compare to that. Like, however successful we can become, if we don't have this internal peace, it doesn't really matter.
Yes, very
So,
true.
yeah.
But I feel like you can still help in medicine, because you don't have to be inside medicine, but with your technical knowledge, and now with technology, and also combined with the skill that you have on picking on small things, the research ability, I think you can, and the interesting questions that you had in your head. Like, I remember talking to you once, and you said, this part of Europe has certain kind of cancers, and you wanted to know why.
Yeah.
So these are the questions you have, and when you use your technical abilities, skills, and research ability, I think you can actually help the field of medicine in that way.
Actually, yeah, this was one of my big interests here in MIT, like the general public health and urban planning. And I see a lot of relation to there. There have been an amount of studies on that, but not equally enough, I think, because we are seeing how health is impacting everyone, especially nowadays where the world is just overpopulated, basically, and our planet is sick. So all of this, the environmental cause, the health of the planet, and the health of us humans and animals is interconnected.
And as a community,
It is. It is all one big community. Um, so I think as urban planners, we have a big role on how we shape the future at this point. If we're going the other way, like, I don't know, go crazy about our own gains, or we're actually thinking about the health. And when I mean health, I mean the health of our planet and of every living being there. So I did get to understand from a lot of research methods that I wasn't aware before. And I think that when I go back, I will ask for collaboration of many amazing people that I've met here. And I will try to do some in-depth studies about different instances, for example, of cancer in this case. That is a topic that I'm very concerned about, and different urban planning patterns. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I'm really scared about the results, but I'm really hopeful that there will be something that we can do about it. And you are very right. We have a big responsibility on it as planners. And this is this intersection of sectors that we're coming back again. It relates to everything.
Yeah, I'm really excited to go and see what you do, because the kind of questions that you have, like I said, you're going to do some amazing work along the way, and I would follow what you're up to. So that'll be nice to see. And I cannot let you go without speaking about your love for animals. Because you are one person that I've seen, and I tell you that you are more Buddhist than most of the Buddhists that I've seen back home. Because the love for dogs or just for animals is just unconditional, like when we see it. So was that always you, or did something happen to make you like that?
Again, I think it goes to my raising.
Okay.
We've always been raised to love creatures, especially those that are more vulnerable than us. So, and for me, I've learned, especially in difficult times in my life, that the kind of love that is completely unconditional and it goes to like very, how to say, very primitive instinct is the one that comes from animals. And I mean, all of them, they show these emotions differently. And like, I'm limited to the animals that I've had the chance to encounter. So, and I've had the chance to encounter many dogs, and unfortunately in Kosovo we have many stray dogs that are very badly treated by our community. There is a lack of understanding of these creatures. They are seen as dirty, as evil, and I just fail to understand that. They are creatures who are trying to find food and love and games and to play. I mean, and of course, they can get hungry and they can get aggressive, but so do we. So, I mean, and the kind of love that I get back from these creatures, I honestly cannot explain it like in words. And it's the same. I have two wonderful rescue cats back at home, and here I've fallen in love with the squirrels.
Yes, we have a lot of squirrels here.
Yes,
And
and I
bunnies.
managed to feed them, and they came to my lap as well, and I managed to pet them slightly, but then I went too far trying to play with them. That was not the best idea, but I learned my lesson. But they're lovely, and I love how they're treated here as well. But then I tried also to understand here why there are no like stray animals. Yes, people care about animals a lot, but then you have these very questionable shelters that kill the animals who are not adopted. So that's very, very frightening and very sad for me. But also there is this thing that like countries that have a higher well-being have more compassion towards animals in a way. And I think it goes like, for people, you have to fulfill, for most of the people, some like basic, I don't know, necessities. And then they look at the animals. But I don't think it should be that way. Like, you don't really have to be rich and have a very good well-being in order to love an animal.
Okay.
Because they don't care about that. And they're the only ones who don't care about that.
You don't have to reach some point and then start loving animals. You can love them right now.
Yeah, but we can just love them because they do love us unconditionally. So
that I learned from you.
It is beautiful. I mean, it's just beautiful. They make my life better.
Yes, thank you so much for at least showing that to us. Now all our fellows know you as the animal lady, which you don't like, but
I don't, because I like to be known a bit more, but for some other things, I mean, but
because you're always with animals, you love them, and that's how we see you.
At least I hope that for us who have still stray animals in our countries, that when you see them, you will think of me and you will feed them. So or give
Thank
them
you.
some love.
Thank you. So yeah, we had this wonderful, amazing journey together for 10 months as Humphrey Fellows. Now, what do you see yourself doing going forward? I know it's the future is uncertain, but certain things that you're sure of that you'll be doing this. So, what is your plan going forward?
I think it's like it's true for most of us that we want to do something more than what we have been doing, because it would be a pity not to bring back all these wonderful things that we have learned. But also, in the other hand, I'm very much concerned with lack of opportunities that we have back at home. It's a small country, it's a small market.
It's very similar to our country as
Yeah,
well. We have a small country.
we have very
That's
small
what we share.
countries.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so our research institutions as well are very, very limited, and they don't have the capacities to do like the research that I would want to do. And I'm aware that I can do the things that I want to do, but it will be 100 times more difficult than if I was to go into a Western European country and do everything and everything go more smoothly. But I'm also very conflicted if I want to choose the easy path or if I want to actually help my country more and choose a difficult path for me. So I still don't have an exact answer for that, actually. I know the things that I want to do more or less, but I don't know where I want to do them.
But you're sure of what you want to do.
Well, sure-ish. Like, I know more or less what I want to do, but it will take lots of effort, lots of time, but I'm very passionate about those things. And so, but I don't know yet, like this idea of living in a Western European country that is developed, that has everything set up, that has a different well-being from our developing countries is very tempting. But on the other hand, of course, it goes like against what I was raised up to do, like to work for my country, to try to work to make the life of our people better. But it's also this kind of questions that we have, like at what point we should be selfish. So I have a big question mark.
I am sure that you will do amazing work. And this is the last question that I ask everyone. What motivates you? What keeps you going?
I think just this idea of living, like having opportunities. That's why I put a lot of emphasis in mental health as well as physical health, because if we lose either of these two, like it is very difficult to go with these opportunities and to have dreams generally. So just this idea that we can get out and just grab whatever comes to us, it's huge. The idea that we can dream keeps me going, and most of it, the people that I love. And I will go back to my mom, who is unfortunately not here with us anymore, but she loved to live. She just loved life, and she all the time highlighted how important it is to enjoy every moment of it. And so I guess this is it, just having this opportunity. We're blessed.
So I think whatever your late mom taught you really keeps you going, and I can say that she has done an amazing job, because that's what you radiate, and that's what you even teach all of us. So I hope I can take this message back and instill that in my life as well.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Adea. And thank you so much for listening to Conversations with Tenzin. Like I said, I do this podcast because I meet a lot of wonderful, amazing people on campus and in my life. And I don't want to forget the people's story, especially their story. So this is the reason why I'm doing this podcast. So yeah, thank you so much for listening.
Thank you so much. It was just one beautiful year and mostly to know all of you, and to now that I know that all of you will be my family as well.
Yes, we are all extended family.
Thank you.
So